afternoon. This is your favorite global travel expert, Suzanne Sellers, owner of SuzyDee Travel, LLC, based in Chicago, Illinois. Today is Monday, February 8th, 2021, and I am in the lovely and beautiful Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I'm staying at Secrets Cap Cana, and I'll give a few videos later on during my stay about the resort and about Dominican Republic itself and my experience here. But on this video, I want to talk about false positive COVID test result. And that happened to me. On January 24th, I took a COVID test in Chicago at a community clinic for travel to St. Lucia. I was invited. I had been invited by a major resort corporation to come into St. Lucia and site inspect and stay at a resort in St. Lucia that's owned and operated by the resort corporation. I was supposed to arrive in St. Lucia on January 30th. And St. Lucia government has implemented requirements that incoming travelers have a negative COVID test taken within 7 days of arrival. So I was due to arrive on January 30th. I went to a neighborhood clinic in Chicago and had a COVID test on January 24th. I didn't have any symptoms of COVID. I'm not sick with COVID. I just went strictly to have the test to fulfill the requirements for my entry into St. Lucia, which was coming up in a few more days. I had the test on January 24th. Late night on January 25th, the next day, about 11 o'clock at night, I got an email and it said my test was positive for COVID. I was wrought with worry, with fear. I was crying for a number of reasons, as you can guess. I don't want to be positive with COVID. I didn't want to be positive with COVID. I didn't understand how I was positive with COVID. I didn't have any symptoms. I had been hearing people on the internet and on Facebook and on news reports for several months talking about some people are asymptomatic. And I was afraid. If I have COVID, how bad will it get and all of that. So needless to say, I was awake all night that night, Monday the 25th. I didn't get any sleep at all. I laid in my bed all night thinking about different scenarios. And one big thing I was thinking about is that would definitely blow my chance to go to St. Lucia at the invite of this major resort corporation who had invited me there. Sometime during the night on Monday, January 25th, I thought to myself, what if you don't have COVID? Just like I would go get a second opinion about any other major illness, if I'm diagnosed with it, I went and got a second opinion about that COVID test. I just did not want to believe that I had COVID. And if I did, I wanted someone else to reconfirm it other than just that first testing center I went to. I didn't like the protocols that the testing center used anyway. I didn't like their sample collection process. I didn't like their explanation of how the sample would be tested and the things that they do, the steps that they take. I just didn't rest comfortably with that at the time of the test. So Tuesday, January 26th, I went to a hospital where my primary care physician is located, and I had a COVID test done at that hospital on Tuesday the 26th. Late at night on Tuesday the 26th, I got the result and it was negative. I'm like, okay, that's good, but I want to reconfirm again, even with the negative test. I want to reconfirm. I want to know whether I really do have COVID or not. So on January 27th, I had 3 tests at 3 different providers, and all 3 of those were negative. So now I'm sitting on January 27th. I have 1 positive test from the 24th, 1 negative test from the 26th and 3 negative tests on January 27th. Needless to say, I didn't have COVID. I waited 10 days. I had to cancel my trip to St. Lucia. Very, very, very sad about that. I was sad about it. I contacted the resort corporation that had invited me to St. Lucia, told them I couldn't come. And then I waited 10 days and I went to see my primary care physician. That was on February 3rd is when I went to see my primary care physician. I explained the situation. I told them that I'm a travel agent. I need to travel. And I got this positive test from the neighborhood clinic. I don't believe that it was I don't believe that the result of positive is true. It's a false positive. And then I showed her my 4 negative test results. She agreed with me that it appeared to be a false positive, but she said, I want to be sure and I want to be safe with you. So she gave me another PCR test right there in the room, in the examination room, and she gave I had a blood drawn, and they did an antibody test. Antibodies, if you have antibodies that say you have had COVID in the past. If you don't have antibodies, if your antibody test comes back negative, that means you've never had COVID. That PCR test that she administered herself was negative. The antibody test was negative. That means no COVID. She gave me a letter saying that the January 24th test was a false positive and that I am free and cleared medically to travel. So I came here. I booked me a trip to the Dominican Republic, and I'm here today, arrived today, Monday, February 8th. So the moral of the story is, as with any major medical diagnosis, which I consider COVID to be that, get a second opinion. Even if it's negative, I would say get a second opinion. In Chicago, I don't know about the rest of the United States, but in Chicago, there are many, many, many places offering COVID tests for free. And I went to 4 or 5 of them and just got COVID test after COVID test after COVID test because I wanted to be absolutely sure that I did not have COVID. And I recommend you do that as well. Before any travel, even if you're traveling to a country like the Dominican Republic that does not require a negative COVID test for entry, I would still recommend people have a COVID test. And don't let COVID stop you from traveling. Stay at resorts with safety protocols. Stay at by yourself and to yourself and social distance and do all the things that we know to do now to keep safe. COVID has been around for over a year now, and we pretty much know what to do to keep safe, and I plan on continuing to do those things. Thanks.